I just want to say real quick, make sure you stay to the end of the video if you want some Thai culture. There is a high school group of Thai kids from Thailand who were actually at the Miami Cultural Festival, whatever. My daughter actually performed a Thai dance there at being 4 years old. I was very impressed with her, but they performed right before my daughter. If you want to see what some traditional Thai music looks like, stay tuned to that. And they actually have a very exciting fight scene at the end. So guess who wins that fight? Because it kind of surprised me, but it's gonna be at the very end of the video. I just want to put a plug here for it. Now back to the video. Are you considering learning a language in 2025 and you stumbled on some videos about comprehensible input? This video right here is going to be about the absolute worst parts of comprehensible input that I found out, especially after reflecting what I've been doing for the past, almost 500 hours of input using comprehensible input to learn the Thai language. So the only reason this video idea kind of popped in my head and I jot some things down was that I actually took a few days off from learning my Thai language. If you didn't know from my previous video, I really doubled down on learning the Thai language, especially using the Comprehensible Input YouTube channel. And this has caused me to start studying probably over 6.5 hours every single day. And it's really had an effect on myself. And it wasn't until I actually took a break for a weekend where I only took, studied 3 videos a day. That's still over, an hour and a half of learning the Thai language, that made me start realizing that there are some definite negatives. And especially in this video, it's gonna be top 7 things. Number 6 and number 7 probably have the most, emotional factor. If you're considering learning any language through comprehensible input, number 6 and 7 are gonna have the most, impact and most negativity, probably for the most learners out there. Again, I live and work down here in South Florida in Palm Beach County, probably the best county of all of Florida to live in. It is very beautiful down here. It's sunny pretty much year round. It's, again, absolutely wonderful living down here in Palm Beach County. Again, I took the weekend off, not really put in 6.5 hours a day learning the Thai language, sitting down inside with, headphones and watching these videos for hours and hours. I took time off with my wife, my daughter. We actually went to one of the shopping centers. I'm gonna put a clip of it as well. This is where, they have like a little water fountain and they put bubbles out there for the kids to play around. People are very active here in Palm Beach County. You'll see in the video, people are outside enjoying life, they're laughing, they're smiling. There's some really good food in the area. Now, Palm Beach County can be expensive and we love Thai food. So we actually brought some Thai food from a Thai market to the park area, the shopping center that we went to down here in Palm Beach County. During that time, I actually got to relax and enjoy the beautiful outdoors that, I haven't really been able to. Again, in the past few months, I've been putting 6.5 hours of comprehensible input every single day, not really going outside, not really enjoying life. And I really started reflecting on the negatives of using this method that nobody is really talking about. And I think it comes from my perspective. I'm not a linguist, I'm not a language expert. I'm just somebody who spent over about 500 hours now learning through comprehensible input, about over 1,000 YouTube videos using the Comprehensible Thai YouTube channel. And I just want to discuss, what are the negatives, because nobody's talking about this. So number 1 is going to be, this is extremely time consuming. It's more time consuming than I think many people realize. So when people say something's time consuming, you got to put it in terms or make it relative to them. You could say, yes, it's going to take hundreds and thousands of hours. What does that really, equate to? Like, what is 1,000 hours actually like? So if you go on the Dreamin' Spanish website, this is very popular for the comprehensible input method to learn Spanish. They say that you need about 1,000 hours of input before you even consider speaking. Now, if you're learning a language that's different than, Spanish or a European language for an English speaker like myself, they're saying you probably need to double this. That means you probably need to, spend about 2,000 hours of comprehensible input before you start actually understanding the language deeply inside of your body and develop a great, strong ability to actually speak the language. And what does that equate to? So if you were planning on just casually learning a language through this method, this, 1 hour a day, not 15 minutes, not 30 minutes, not 45 minutes, I'm talking about an hour a day. If you want to learn Thai, this is the language I'm learning, it's going to take over 5.5 years. Now, if you are very ambitious and you double that to 2 hours a day, it's still going to take you about 3 years. And if you are kind of where I am now, doing, 6+ hours a day, that's going to be a little bit under a year before you hit that 2,000 hours of comprehensible input. And put in more perspective of what this is actually like, if you take 15 semester college credits every single semester, this is as if you took an entire bachelor's degree. So 8 semesters of 15 credits with the recommended amount of study time. This gives you right around 1,900 hours. So still less than what you'll need before you even start practicing speaking the Thai language. And this is many years of your life, and we're gonna get more into this. So make sure you stay tuned towards the end, because this is where we're gonna start cutting deep for a lot of people. So number 2, it is extremely isolating. And I've done a lot of things in my life. I've traveled, I've done a lot of business things. I've done, quite a few things that are kind of isolating, but when you study every single day for 6 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, this is extremely isolating. So comprehensible input is not like you're studying from a textbook where, you learn a point, you can, talk with friends or, other people learn the language. The way this works is, like for me, I have to use noise canceling headphones. I can't focus on anything else. I have to focus 100% on the input, and you don't really talk to your spouse, you don't talk to friends, you don't talk to other people. Comprehensible input is something that you do by yourself. And if you're an extreme introvert and you don't have many friends already, or you don't have a social life or something, this could, it probably doesn't bug some people. But if you're somebody who thrives on social interactions, or your business relies you to be social, this is very jarring. It basically can completely destroy your entire social life. And again, a lot of Reddit channels on subgroups and whatever, a lot of people who promote comprehensible input say that, you can't talk to anybody in the language. So it's not like you're gonna learn this language to somebody and start practicing along with them. You're not even supposed to be talking about grammar or other things. So unfortunately, it's just very isolating. Number 3 is going to be the deaf loop, I'm gonna call it. So I started with this method doing about 1 to 2 videos a day, maybe about, 40 minutes to an hour every single day. And then I was like, what happens if I just try one more video? What's one more video going to do? What's the worst that's gonna happen? Well, if you're somebody like me, you realize that one more video actually doesn't have too much of a trade-off. You're getting so much more input that it's actually better. And I personally found that the longer I watch videos, you may be completely different, but the longer I actually watched the videos, the more input I did every single day, the better it actually was overall. I actually understood way more of the content going from 1 hour to 2 hours. And when I went even beyond that, so when I went to 3 hours, it wasn't like I felt diminishing returns. I actually felt like I was legitly getting a lot more input. I was actually getting a lot better experience. I felt like it was actually working better. And I feel like maybe the first video or 2, is priming your mind to start the comprehensible input, method, what do you want to call it? But especially when I got towards 4 and 5 hours, I still felt no negatives from using comprehensible input. I only felt positives. I didn't get any diminishing returns. I didn't feel like my gains of learning the Thai language drastically decreased. It actually felt like things were actually getting better and better. So that causes you to watch more and more comprehensible, input videos, or consume more and more content, where it becomes like this thing that you just do more and more, and it's all time consuming. where if you like, okay, I'm gonna settle down, I'm gonna do fewer videos, you're actively saying, I'm going to put less input in, I'm gonna get, worse results. It's not like you put more hours in and things, you get overwhelmed. I just kind of felt like the entire time, the more input I put in, actually the better I felt about the entire method. And when I started laying off the, put it on the brakes a little bit, I felt like things were, slowing down. I felt like I was betraying the method. So it creates this death loop where again, where I'm at now, 6.5 hours every single day. I could do more, but I can't cut anything else out of my life. And I don't see myself doing this much longer at this rate. We're gonna talk about that later in the video, so stay tuned for that one. Because I have a date where things are gonna start changing. Number 4 thing that is a negative about comprehensible input is that this is not healthy. So if you don't know, I do multiple things. By university degree, I'm a pharmacist, I do real estate, and I do some other things as well. But one thing I could definitely tell you, besides this house has just got torn down here, one of my daughter's favorite words is excavator. She'll be so excited to see this thing winning and destroying this multi-million-dollar home. But anyways, one thing I could definitely tell you is that sitting around for hours and hours is not healthy, no matter how you think about this. No matter if you say like, I'm gonna get up every video and do some squats. I know there's like Professor Aguayas, whatnot. He said every so often he gets up and do some jumping jacks, or he does little calisthenics, but 6 hours a day, there's no way you're actually going to make up for the difference of you sitting for the majority of your time. So it is not healthy. I did definitely try going to the gym, try and watch videos, but I never felt like my attention was as good as when I just completely 100% focus on the input itself. Now at night, when I got done with this other thing I do on the side as well, I try to go to the gym late at night, go on the Stairmaster or the treadmill. And again, I can do that. You go on the Stairmaster, 20 minutes. Right now at this B4 level, and especially the intermediate videos for comprehensible Thai, those videos are already like 30+ minutes. So yeah, that's one video. You're not going to stay on a Stairmaster or a treadmill for 6 hours a day. So majority of your day is going to be sitting around, and it's going to have long-term effects. That's why if you are going to use this method, you definitely need a good start date and an end date to use this, or you're going to find yourself morbidly obese. Because if you're like me, I personally love snacking while I'm watching the videos. It keeps me kind of focused, and you're snacking, you're not moving. Overall, again, I don't think this method, not medical advice for anybody, could be healthy long-term. Now, number 5 thing that is a negative about comprehensible input, tying back to the first part of this, it's not the best method, say, for relationships and business. So let's start with business first. So I work a regular time slot career as well. And, I can work around that. I can work around the pharmacy side of things. It's not that bad. But when you have other things like my real estate business that I run down here in South Florida, what I had to do, and I'm very, very fortunate for this, and some people, their careers may not even allow this. I referred out most of my clients for the past few months to other real estate agents. So I still, I get the referral commission, but I don't get my regular paycheck or my regular commission for helping people relocate down here to South Florida. Again, I'm very fortunate where I get enough revenue coming in where it's not really hurting our family. But long term, I don't see how many people could actually pull this off if you're doing many hours per day, where it's not going to negatively, however you say it, affect your professional business career. If you're like a business type of person and you have a lot of things you need to manage, I'm able to hire a cleaner. I was able to hire, I already had a landscaping team, but the main difference is the cleaner. And I put my daughter in an extra Chinese language program to help off, with, getting her a little bit more hours to her to grow her own self, but it gives me a little bit extra time to learn Thai. But also, referring off most of my clients to other agents, where they reach out to me, I refer them off to other members of my team. And remember that I'm fortunate enough to be able to do this, but others may not be able to actually do this referral type networking thing. Now, before we get into the two worst aspects of using comprehensible input, I just want to throw this out here. If you know anybody who's looking to move, like sell their home or buy a home, if you want to support another language learner, you can always reach out to me. If you don't have a real estate agent already, what I'm able to do with the type of business I run down here with real estate, I'm partnered up with a national size broker as well. So I can help interview real estate agents in literally any market in the United States and do the interview process for you and refer you to a qualified real estate agent in whatever market you live here in the United States. And this comes out of no pocket of yours for the service that I can provide for you, but I do get a referral fee from the broker itself. So I just want to be fully transparent, but it doesn't cost you as a consumer or a user of any transaction of real estate any extra money than you would have, and it goes to support another language learner, and it supports this channel greatly as well. So I just want to throw that out here before we get into number 6 and 7. Now, number 6 negative about using comprehensible input, it is so easy to slip into comprehensible input into escapism. If you don't know what escapism is, it's where you use something that can be addictive or it takes a lot of time to actually postpone you doing stuff that you need to do in the real life. So when you go to Reddit and you go to these like subgroups and whatnot, and they talk about their hours and hours that they use to spend, that they spend learning like 10 languages at one time, or they're consuming like 12 hours a day of comprehensible input. It's kind of similar to people who spend their entire life playing video games instead of working on themselves. I can definitely see people using this as escapism to postpone life events that they really need to work on for their own professional career, for their personal growth, because it's so easy to say, well, I'm studying a language, so I'm going to watch, 3 hours of comprehensible input, and then I'm gonna put on a movie on Netflix and listen to this song or whatever in a language I'm learning. And I find that myself. So again, I can be, quite obsessive, but I normally don't watch like, comedy on YouTube, but I found myself like slipping into this thing where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch this, comedy thing that's in Thai because, it's helping me with my Thai language. It's hard to put in words until you actually experience it. So I want to tell you a story. I did have a friend from university. At the time, we were both studying Japanese, and he was absolutely obsessed with Japanese culture. He graduated with a music degree and business degree from our university, and he didn't really know what he was going to do with his degree. So he applied for the JET program, and he did the JET program for about 5 years over there in Japan. So this is where you go teach English in Japan, and it allowed him to become very good at Japanese. He's way better than I could have ever been in Japanese. He had a great experience over there, had a lot of fun. About year 3, he thought he already planned his life. He went to Japan, he loved it. People liked him over there. He played the violin, he was blonde. Anyways, long story short, year 3, he met a Chinese girl over there, and he ends up marrying her in year 5. So got engaged, whatever, comes back to America because she doesn't want to live in Japan. She wants to live in California in the United States. So he comes back to America, and he starts his visa process, and he applies for a visa, right? So he's got to apply to sponsor, fiance visa, 90-day fiance visa, whatever you want to call it. But he's been in Japan all these 5 years. In American terms, United States, he has no income, taxable income in America for these past few years. So he could actually sponsor her. And when he started his job here in America, it wasn't like he had any career growth. He had a business degree and he had a music degree, and he spent 5 years teaching English in Japan. And he didn't work on himself at all. So when he came back here, he basically had to start off possibly in a worse spot than he would have been if he just went directly into the workforce here in America. He postponed his entire professional career to go to Japan, to study Japanese, be around the Japanese culture that he fell in love with, but it was a form of escapism. He put off growing up as an adult because he didn't know exactly what he wanted to do in America. And this is perfect for him back then, but years later, he's paying for it now. Because now he's stuck in California with a very bad situation, most likely, and is not gonna be going to trips to Japan anymore because he's still trying to figure out his life here in the States. So whatever you do not use comprehensible input to get thousands of hours of your life taken away. Well, you could have got an engineering degree, you could have a business degree, or work on yourself so you can become the most successful person that you could possibly be. Don't use this as a distraction. I can see this just like video games becoming very addicted to people who are already, playing video games for hours per day or watching tons of anime. This will give them a great opportunity to say, I'm gonna watch this anime instead of working on myself because it's under the shield and the illusion of language learning, and you associate learning with something good. Now, number 7, and the absolute worst thing about recommending comprehensible input to literally anybody is going to be the fact that the majority of people just dabble in things as their hobbies. And language learning is, yes, a hobby, and most people are not going to become amazingly good at language learning. And I would argue that a lot of people say 20% of the effort will give you 80% of the result. And if you're looking to kind of shock natives, you're looking to learn a language and talk to people at a grocery store, or use it to network or impress people, get a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, whatever. And I'm telling you this now, if you're studying Thai, Chinese, practically any of the exotic languages that are not European, really depends on how you look. I mean, if you look that you come from the country, nobody's gonna be impressed. If you're down here and you're in South Florida and you're moving into this beautiful house right here and you learn, Spanish, pretty much nobody's gonna bat an eye, especially in Miami-Dade area, so below Palm Beach County. People actually approach you in Spanish already. So now down up here in Palm Beach County, it's gonna be very, very different, but it really depends on the language. I just wanna start this off, but majority of the excitement is gonna be from just knowing the very basics of the language. And again, the more exotic it is, the more excitement you're gonna get from natives and your positive feedback for learning the language itself. So you wouldn't need 2,000 hours to get to the point where you can go to the country, order a drink, book a hotel, navigate around the basic things. You practically don't need 2,000 hours for pretty much any language. You can practically learn the basics, and from my own experience, probably in a few hundred hours of just getting an ASML book, a colloquial or teach yourself book, and really hammer those topics down, practicing with speakers. Yes, you're not gonna sound native. Yes, you're not gonna be the best speaker, you're gonna make mistakes. But for the majority of people in the language learning atmosphere, I mean, if you're learning Icelandic and you never plan on going to Iceland, and you just want to dabble in it and learn it for fun, or practically read some old Icelandic, other things you could do with your life. For myself, like, I want to retire in Thailand. I see myself as invested in Thailand in the future. There's some unique opportunities in Thailand. Yes, the media is going to portray Thailand as having some really drastic negative things going on right now, but I definitely see an angle to make a business out of this and help other people in Thailand. Long story short, there's an opportunity everywhere, but if you don't have an opportunity, you're just learning Icelandic or you want to read it, just focus on reading. You don't need to listen to Icelandic videos for thousands of hours and years. Again, comprehensible input is absolutely overkill, probably for the majority of people who are just casual language learners. Unless you have an exact reason you're learning a language and you have an idea of what you're going to do with this language and you need to understand everything, I see this as the absolute worst method to learn a language. I would highly recommend going back to the basics and focusing on very targeted topics, not this broad range. Right now, with 500-ish hours of comprehensible input, 1,000-something videos of comprehensible input, I would say that I can start enjoying native content way more than I would need to if I was gonna casually learn it to go on a trip to Phuket or Bangkok just to go travel and visit. I've learned so much random stuff through these videos. I feel like I can go to a barbershop, I can go to the mail, I can understand jokes, I can do a lot, but the argument is that this is extremely overkill for the majority of the people who are starting language learning. Now, I just want to end the video by saying that comprehensible input's not bad. I definitely am still going to keep enjoying using it. I do have my own personal time frame when I'm shaving my beard off. I have a personal time frame of when I'm going to stop using comprehensible input methods such as the YouTube channel. Now, people may argue that it's not a method, but if you're following a channel and you're listening to their method and their ideas, it pretty much is a method. But I have a target date, I have a target time, and I have a plan to not spend the rest of my life listening to content for thousands of hours. But I want to end the video by saying that I absolutely love the comprehensible input. I'm using it to learn Thai. I am having a very positive time. It's just that it can be very negative for a lot of people and it may not be worth it. Depends on what your actual goals, what's your target, what do you want to actually be able to do in the language? Now, I personally have time frames for practically everything in my life. So I have a time frame when I'm going to be cutting off my beard. I have a time frame when I'm actually stopping the comprehensible input. And I know exactly when that is. If I don't finish all the videos, I'm not spending 6 hours of my day any longer. I need to hit the deadline and I have a strong feeling that I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna finish these videos before the deadline. I'm not gonna spend, another 6 months later still trying to finish these videos. I definitely have my own strategies. If you wanna see more content and follow my Thai language learning progress, don't forget to subscribe. End of this video, as I mentioned in the beginning, I want to share a little bit of Thai culture. So the video you're about to see is a raw footage of a Thai group, a music group that came from Thailand to help raise money for their high school. So if you want to see the group, someone in the video with a group performing a traditional-ish Thai song. They are a group of kids from Thailand who are going around the United States for a few months to help raise money for their school. So stay tuned. You're gonna see some Thai music and make sure you witness the fight at the end because it kind of had me guessing like what's gonna happen next, and I thought it was pretty exciting. So stay tuned to that and I hope you enjoy. And also leave a comment if you can relate to any of these negative things about the comprehensible input that I mentioned in this video. Other than that, take care.
Hello, baby. I love you. Come here, come to daddy. You said no? Boy. you're just a little girl. You wanna fight with us? Go, bro. Get her. เฮ้ยมาเว้ยมาเว้ยเอาเว้ยเอาเว้ยเอาเว้ยเอาเว้ยมาจังหวะนี้ครับผมจังหวะนี้เอาแล้วไม่เป็นไรเฮ้ยไม่เป็นไรไหวนี่หว่าแม่นี่ไหว
other.